This story is titled Observer. This is the first one that I wrote, I believe, a couple of years ago when I decided I was going to bear down and write a group of short stories. I ended up writing 24 or 25, I believe. One of them I tossed. It didn't quite work, but I don't like to waste too many words of stories, so I try to make them work. So this was really the first of 25. And this one, I know a little bit about the art world because I do a little framing, not really anymore, but I did some framing just part-time out of the garage. I enjoyed it. It's not a real money maker, but I enjoy a little bit of woodworking, and I would make one type of frame that artists appreciated, kind of a standard floated light wood frame, and I could do it, at a reasonable cost. And artists generally can't sell any paintings, so they can't spend much money on these things. But anyways, it was kind of fun. It was mostly just friends who were artists and that type of thing a little bit. But in any case, I have a little bit of a feel for the art world. And this guy, a little bit odd, and who knows how strange the character might be, but he's a little bit of an artist. He's trying to come to it kind of later in life, come back to it. Maybe he painted a little bit at one point. He's not very good. And he decides to start taking some classes, and classes lead to these sessions. And there's sessions you can pay for where everybody pitches in money, and then a model comes and poses for 3 hours, and they paint the model or draw the model, whatever. And so he starts going to try to improve his art, but he also realizes he enjoys being around these models, these female models. And so at a session, one guy's giving the model a little trouble, not hitting on the model or anything, but just arguing about something. And she has a little trouble with him, and so this guy steps in, straightens it out, and then she thanks him. So they go and have coffee, and he just becomes friendly with her. And so she suggests, well, I got another session next week in Marin County if you want to go, and maybe we'll get a bite to eat after or something. So he goes to that session, but she doesn't show up. Another model replaces her. And so it's no big deal, but on the way back, driving back, he calls her and says, gee, you didn't show up. Everything okay? What happened? And then she kind of turns on him a little bit. She's acting strange. And then he kind of regrets that he really had anything to do with her. He's just trying to help out a little bit. But anyway, it turns out that she lets it slip that she's having trouble with her boyfriend or somebody, and somebody hit her that night. She claims somebody hit her in an argument, domestic argument. So he can't let it go. So he meets her. She looks okay, he doesn't see where has any problem, but she says she's been icing it or whatever. So he's not sure. He's confused. But anyway, he follows it up. Now he's in a little deep, and he's also kind of an aggressive person. Maybe he has a little bit of a weird background. I don't know if he's a sociopath or something like that. But anyway, hopefully you get a little sense of the art world, the kind of underbelly of how it works. And these people are struggling. They can't make any money, and the models also are struggling. They're scrambling. They sit there. They get paid an hourly wage, and it's probably a pretty good hourly wage in some cases when they model for art schools, art classes, that kind of thing. But it's hard work, and you gotta you drive around from site to site, and then you run into people, obnoxious people that give you a hard time. So I just kind of tried to present that world a little bit, and kind of throw in this guy, kind of maybe a little bit twisted guy. I'm not even sure what it is. So, some of it's logical. I mean, at one point he goes to his bartender after one of the sessions and says, gee, do you think, is it okay that I go to these things essentially to enjoy the female models? I mean, I'm trying to paint, etc., but I also just enjoy being in the presence of a beautiful woman here. Is there something wrong with me there? And so, at least, he's being honest about it, but, it's probably not going to end exactly well for him, and maybe not for for the model who might be who might have some ulterior motives herself. Okay, that one's called Observer. Again, read by Joan Ambrosini. I will put the link below. Thanks.